Hello everyone, my name is Wayne.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are your Bourbon Journey.
Welcome to a blind tasting. Today we're actually doing blind barrels. You've probably seen us do this a couple of times before. We get our little quarterly boxes and we're always very excited because I think the folks at Blind Barrels do a great job of putting together really fascinating pours, 4 different ones. And then we try to guess. We don't try to guess what they are because they're all craft distilleries, and 9 times out of 10, we've never had anything from there, so we're not going to guess what it is. But we do like to try to guess maybe what the age is or the proof, or specifically, if we could do anything, I want to guess what kind of whiskey it is, right? Is it a bourbon? Is it a rye? Is it a single malt? Things like that. So that's our main goals, but I want to share a little bit with you about what this box entails so that you can maybe play along with us. So they've named this lineup the Prestige due to the magical element of these drams. Their description of what's in the box includes a distillery that practiced the art of élevage. Now I had to go look that up. That essentially means they do a hands-on, artistic, and meticulous approach to aging the spirits, aiming to optimize their quality and complexity by carefully managing the development of barrels and beyond. Okay, so that's what that means. So one distillery does that. Another one is the oldest ever straight rye whiskey. Well, that's a good clue. We know we have to find at least one rye whiskey in here. The third one is a veteran staff distillery that provides work for those transitioning back to civilian life from the military. And finally, one of the longest finishes you'll ever see in a cask type we've never featured before. Well, that sounds interesting. So I also want to say that for this June release by Blind Barrels, they're also donating to support the Live Stay project that's founded by Randy Sullivan of Bourbon Real Talk. And this charity supports the prevention of suicide through awareness, education, and community. So I think that's really cool that they partnered with Randy. Randy's been on there before. He's a great guy. Our samples are going to follow their bottles, which is A, B, C, and D. So shall we get started with A?
Since I've donned the glasses, yeah.
Its color is maybe a light mahogany, perhaps.
Okay.
It's not super dark.
I was going to say medium amber, but medium ball.
Wherever the light hits us, right? I want to check out its nose. There's some sweet notes there.
I would agree. And I know we didn't mention, but mine formed legs right away.
Yeah, I was kind of just going to let it happen while I was nosing, and look at those beautiful legs on there. It's got some great viscosity.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm getting notes of honey.
I would buy that. I'm getting notes of confectionery sugar.
Shall we taste sample A?
Yeah.
Sample A, whoever you are.
Cheers.
I'm getting some notes I wasn't anticipating.
I'm getting barley right off the bat.
Yeah, because I was expecting
that.
some sweeter notes, but on the palate, it's not quite as sweet for me.
That's interesting.
It's got good leg. We just make some little notes just to remind us because there's 4 samples. It's not like we're judging these in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, because I got that honey on the nose and it was sweet, and on the palate, it is more this earthiness of barley, perhaps. The finish is not bad.
It's dry.
Yeah, I mean, lengthwise, I'd say it's kind of medium. Maybe medium to long. I don't think it's super proofy. I think it's probably around 100. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go, I'll just be odd. I'll go 102. Okay. I don't think it's very high.
So I'm going to go with 100. It doesn't taste super old to me. I'm feeling like that might be why I'm getting these barley notes. I do think it's a bourbon. Do you? Because I feel like there's corn in the mash bill.
I would buy that. There's also cinnamon on the finish.
So I'm going to go with B for bourbon. I don't think it's a finished bourbon. I think it's kind of young.
I'm going to say it's 5 years.
I'm going to go 4. I don't think it's bad. We'll go back and taste it again in a second. So we're going to go ahead and reveal this right now while we're thinking about it, so you know what it is. and we will know what it is as well. Okay, so this is by State Republic Wheated Texas Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So we got the bourbon. Did you get any wheated notes?
No.
Well, we kind of did.
Well, the confectionery sugar,
We did.
should have let it.
And honey.
Honey.
We should have guessed that. We're not on our game, but this is our first taste of the day. Maybe we'll get better. This is the Ranger Creek Brewing and Distilling. The regular price on this is $70. The member price, because if you belong to Blind Barrels, you get a discount. So that would be $59.99.
Okay.
It is out of San Antonio, Texas. So it said Texas. It's San Antonio. Okay, it's only 3 years old. I was right. It is pretty young. And the proof is 96. So that we were pretty close on that. The mash bill is 69% corn, 21% wheat, 10% malted barley. And I bet some of that, 10% barley is pretty big, but I bet that wheat note was coming through to us kind of like a barley too.
Yeah, and I think maybe the wheat was masked a little bit by the barley too, because it had more of a barley punch than I would have expected.
So they always give a fun fact. I like fun facts. Named in honor of a place that was a location for one of the last stands of the Texas Rangers. Ranger Creek is a veteran staff distillery, so now we know which one that is, that provides work for those transitioning back to civilian life. Okay, well, the first one got us a little bit. I thought it was pretty interesting.
That's a good word.
I think I have already some other wheateds I might like more.
Yes.
We have quite a few wheated bourbons.
Yes.
So it wasn't a bad pour, but I'm not sure if I'd pull the trigger on it yet. So I'd think about it. Let's move to sample B.
Okay, now I have legs forming just picking up the glass.
Well, I'm looking at the color against the white paper. It's kind of helping me a little bit with the lights. It's got a pretty color, kind of a medium color. I like something with some good viscosity, so let's see how this one tastes. I mean, it smells.
And you said this was a light amber?
I said it was a medium color.
Medium color? Okay.
I'm just holding against the white paper is what I said.
Okay.
Let's get the nose.
Okay.
This is far different than the first one, which makes me, I feel it's a bourbon, but just off the nose, but I think it's got some rye in it.
There's a herbalness about it.
Man, that could come from a high rye mash bill too, though.
And possibly floral, but not real strong, not really distinct.
There's something really sweet about it too, though, that I'm just not quite picking up.
Well, let's go to the, should we go to the taste and...
Yeah, because if you stick your nose way in there, there is something really sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, to sample B, whoever you may be.
B.
B. So it's kind of like sweet, floral. I wonder if this is finished in something.
Well, these might not be definitive points. To me, it's a little minty and floral. So there's.
I got that on the nose.
I can go back to that, but I put down the word bright. It's a bright taste. I know that's not one of those things that certain people in the community would probably bring up, but...
Well, no, yeah, because sometimes it's darker, deeper. Sometimes it's brighter, lighter.
Yeah.
And that's when we kind of classify things as it a winter drink or a summer drink. A lot of times we want those profiles, different seasons.
Yeah.
So I think it's perfectly fine to categorize it that way. I'm going to have another sip because this one's throwing me a bit.
Okay.
And I want to think about the proof and the finish too. I keep thinking there's a finish on this, and it's sweet, but it's not a wine finish. So I do think it's a bourbon. I'm going to say question mark, could be finished, but I can't think of what I think it's finished in. This one has some maturity on the finish. I'm getting some oak notes, which makes me think it might be a little bit older than the first one, maybe 5-6 years perhaps.
Well, for the finish, I put black pepper and I believe it's leather.
Which is often comes with an older.
The other day when we were doing some tastings, wherever, I kept getting in the leather ballpark, but it was like dry, and I'm getting that hint again. You know, so and I put down. I believe the proof is 105.
I said 103.
And I'm going to go 6, and I'm going to say it's a bourbon.
I said 4 to 6 years, so I gave a range. I'm kind of cheating there, not zeroing in, but I feel like it's got some age. Do you think it's finished in something? Because it just feels like it's got something else going on.
I'm going to say no. I don't want to copy you with it. It wasn't striking me that it was. That said,
the nose is so sweet, and it doesn't match the palate for me.
Okay, the nose, going back to that, butterscotch. There's a little bit in there. Not Glenn's Creek butterscotch, but
I don't know. I have a thought, but I'm not going to share it because I think I'd be completely wrong. But I do think it's finished in something, but I don't think it's wine. I don't think it's a special wood finish because I think I would pick that up if it were. But let's go ahead and see what sample B is all about. Hammer, Hugh Hammer. We've had Hugh Hammer before.
Okay.
Bourbon whiskey, we got that right. Oh
okay.
My gosh, I should have guessed this. It is finished in rum barrels. We just had a big discussion about rum barrels the other day.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because I should have had that come to my head because we just had a conversation that we often kind of like finishes in rum better for rye than we do for bourbons, but this wasn't overly sweet. It was sweet, but in the past when I've had a rum finished bourbon, it was just almost sickly sweet. Mm-hmm. It's made by West Fork Whiskey Company, and that's in Indiana. I was thinking that's the one that's up by Indianapolis.
Yeah. So
it's in our home state. The regular price on this is $75, and the blind barrel member price is $64.99. Okay. The proof is 103, so we were right in the ballpark on that.
105.
Oh wow, it's 99% corn.
Okay.
That's the other sweet note. 99% corn.
Interesting.
Wow. Age statement. 7 years old. Okay, so give us a break here because 7 years old, but 2 of those were in a Cruzan rum barrel. So the bourbon was aged 5 years and then 2 years in the rum barrel. So I think we were pretty close. I was getting some of those barrel notes, I think. So
well, yeah, you were definitely getting that. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 'cause you did too. You got leather.
Yeah.
So we got some like aged bourbon notes on it, but the 99% corn, that really surprises me. We do have a couple Hugh Hammers that we got with the Evansville Bourbon Society. One of their basic ones we weren't super crazy about, but the one that was finished was at Fort Cass.
Yes.
Phenomenal. I mean, we have one bottle. I had to put it away because I kept wanting to drink it and I wanted to have it for a little bit longer. So this is interesting. I think that rum finish is pretty cool. So it's $64.99 for us. So it is finished in rum. It was 103 proof and it's 7 years, but it's really 5 + 2.
Okay.
Okay. So any initial thoughts on that one?
No comment.
He's saving it for the end. Let's go on to C and see what it has to offer.
That's a kind of a golden and medium.
Mm-hmm.
Now the next one coming up does not match these other
the last one definitely looks darker.
Yep. Golden medium.
It's got some legs forming that are nice.
Okay, now
it looks like a beautiful necklace.
Now it's funny. In this case, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Got one coming down the 405.
I'm going to check out the nose. I think this is our rye. I'm just going to say it. It jumped out at me. I shouldn't have said that so fast, but I'm going to go ahead and claim this to be the rye.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, I'm getting some herbal notes, some floral notes, a little bit of citrus, a hint of spice. It's a very complex nose. I'm loving this nose. It's quite nice. I'm trying to guess if it's a rye, what percentage it might be, but let's go ahead and taste C, and then maybe that gives a better hint. To C, let's see what you are.
See.
That's a rye.
Yep.
I'm not feeling it's 100%. I'm thinking it might be a 95.5 rye. I know we're not supposed to be guessing that, but for a rye, I kind of like to because there's only a few lanes that ryes go down. I like the profile. It's very nice. It's got a pretty long finish.
It's minty and it's spicy.
Yeah, it's got a couple things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's herbal. I mean, the nose is really good. It's the kind of rye nose that I really like. And it does have that nice mouthfeel. I'm gonna guess these proofs feel very similar to me. I'm kind of going up just a little bit. I'm going 105. I feel like the proofs are going up just a tad. This one, it has some age notes on it, because lots of times ryes are younger, because you don't have to have an old rye. I mean, a 4-year-old rye is really in there. I think this is a little bit older, just because some of the notes I'm getting on the finish. I'm getting some barrel notes on the finish.
Well, the finish for me is spicy and dry. It's definitely, I mean, it's a rye. There's no doubt. I put the proof as 102. I'm going a little lower.
We're very close.
And I'm going to say it's a 6-year rye.
I went with 8. Yeah, I think this is pretty interesting, but I just need to smack myself if this isn't a rye.
Well,
because we know there's one in here, so this has to be a rye, or I don't know what I'm doing.
I would agree.
It is a rye. It is a cask strength straight rye whiskey by the Prideful Goat. Normally priced at $105, the member price is $89.99. Oh wow, we were off on the proof. This proof is 117. It did not drink that hot.
I got tried.
It is 9 years old.
Okay,
it is a 95.5. And the fun fact on this is the oldest ever straight rye whiskey that we presented in a release, spending 5 years in Indiana and 4 additional years aging in Texas.
Interesting. I wonder where it was at in Indiana.
I would have a guess, being a 95.5 rye, that it might have been somewhere in Lawrenceburg.
Oh,
it's just a guess.
Migpa.
But so they probably purchased it at that point and then aged it another 4 years in Texas.
Yeah.
Which probably gave it some of those really strong kind of barrel notes, which is pretty interesting. I thought that was pretty good. Interesting. A Prideful Goat out of Houston. We definitely did not get the proof right. The proof was 117. That was higher.
Well, I was 15 points off.
And I was only 1 year off on the age, but the 95.5 was correct. And then I think I said it was 89.99. I can understand that being an older process. And the higher proof and the age, that kind of makes sense for this one. If you use that old $10 a year thing, it'd be right in the money.
Right.
Yeah. So we got one more to go. I can't even remember what they said the 4 things were now, because it's been a while. Okay. Well, let's.
That was a very distinct rye.
It was great. I liked it. But I have a.
This is funny.
This is funny?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't gotten to know you. I was looking at the appearance. It's darker than the other ones have been.
Oh, yeah.
It's got some great legs forming. Okay, you've already smelled it, so I got to check it out. Oh.
I get pancake syrup. I normally don't get screwball stuff like that. I feel like Trenton from SLB that, I get Skittles. I get pancake syrup.
But this is very sweet. It has almost cherry or grape notes on it.
To me, it's pancake syrup. It's maple. It's just maple.
And I'm getting a little bit of honey too. I mean, it's very sweet. You think about a sweet profile and it's coming through. A little bit of cinnamon perhaps, or maybe it's nutmeg. I like the nose. This might be my favorite nose.
Well, I like the nose. I just wish I was getting as much as you are. I'll tell you that.
No, but I'm just saying, out of the 4 noses, this might be my favorite.
I would totally agree. I don't even think it's even close.
I mean, it's just luscious.
I'm just, I know we're about ready to taste it, but I'm just really wondering if this is going to line up with the nose.
Yeah. Well, to D, we hope you're what you smell like.
D.
Wow. What is that?
Oh, it's corn. I'm getting corn.
And nuts. Roasted nuts. It's like honey roasted peanuts.
Oh, I'm getting corn.
We already had one that was almost 100% corn, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But wow, it's still sweet, but it was much sweeter on the nose. I'm gonna take another sip for the finish. These legs are fabulous, by the way. Yeah, nuts. Are you getting the peanuts? Honey roasted peanuts?
It's this, of the four we've had, this drink's the hottest. I don't know if it's nuts, but there's something else there.
I do think it's a higher proof. I think it's probably 125 to 130. I'm getting these nuts. The finish is really long. It might be the longest finish we've had. That could be due to the proof. Sometimes the proof does make it last longer. I'm just loving this honey and peanut, and you're getting corn, huh?
I'm getting, well, nose, it's three things for me. Maple on the nose, corn in the taste, and the finish, I'm getting a little bit tobacco.
Oh, nice. I'm getting a really long, warm finish.
Yeah.
I was getting a little bit hints of dark chocolate, which sometimes it's dark chocolate for me, and sometimes it's more leather. So I do think it has some age on it. I'm going to go 7 to 8 years. I do think it's a bourbon.
I'm going 8 years. I'm going 130 proof.
I think you're probably right. I was trying to be rangy, but if I had to guess on my range, I'd probably say 130.
And I'm just basing it. If the previous one was 117, that drinks like water compared to this.
But the nose doesn't smell hot. But this one definitely has that note. Okay, you ready to find out what it is?
Yeah, I'll just say this last thing. This almost tastes like an offshoot of moonshine.
What? Really? No, it has too much flavor for me.
I'm getting that aspect of it. It would not surprise me if moonshine were involved, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think they do that. I don't know if you guys have ever done that or not. So
probably not.
We've been at it for a little bit of time. So this is a Harbinger straight bourbon whiskey cask strength.
Okay, that explains.
It is a barrel select, the smallest batch they've ever done of something. Cask Lord, Iron Root Republic. Not familiar with them.
The name sounds, Iron Root sounds familiar, but that might be
so the normal price on this would be $100. The member price is $79.99.
Okay.
At a Denison, Texas.
Oh, boy,
another Texas, a Texas day. Except for the one from Indiana, right?
Yeah, and it went to Texas.
Okay, 130.2.
I was really close. I was 0.2 off.
Well, we don't usually guess. It's only 4 years old.
Way off.
It drinks older than 4. It's got so many notes, but it's got to be because it's cask strength. Cask strength bourbon, in my opinion, always drinks a little older. Okay, so let's get into the mash bill. You kept saying corn. It's 80% yellow dent corn.
Okay. 20%
malted wheat, and that's a composition of 5 different types of wheat, including 3 ancient farrow varieties. So that's some of these different notes that we're getting. It's probably this crazy wheat stuff in here. So it's a wheated.
Interesting.
But malted wheat, in my opinion, tastes so different from a regular wheat. It just adds all these nuances. I mean, that's like the Star Hill Farm, the wheat whiskey. And let's see what they say. Fun fact. In our second smallest batch series from a distillery, which practices the art of élevage, a practice adapted from cognac production to help tame the intense Texas aging climate. So what they did with the barrels is why we were fooled on the age.
Yeah.
Because it could have gotten really hot and really kind of almost drying and almost, tannic. But they played with it and only did it 4 years. Being in Texas, I understand why it's only 4 years old.
Right.
If it was a Kentucky whiskey, I think it probably would have been 7 or 8 years old. But being a Texas whiskey, that makes sense to me. This has been a really great tasting. So we can go back and look at some. So that one was, $79.99? So out of these, which was your favorite that you feel like, are there anything you would really feel like we should get on the computer as soon as we're done filming and buy it?
The last one.
I agree. I have to have it. And we know it's a small batch, so it's going to go fast.
The first one, I put I put a kind of a question mark with it. There's nothing about it that really made me want to switch over and commit with it. B, I just put a no. That wasn't really my thing. And knowing it's a rum finish, I'm not surprised. That's kind of a no for me. I prefer a rum finish and I didn't even know I was getting a rum finish. I just knew there was something about it that was a little sweet for me. C, I put maybe. I'm not a rye person, so I put down maybe but I don't think so, because once again, rye is not our lane.
Yeah, we don't drink enough rye to warrant, I don't think, buying. We don't drink a lot of ryes, and we're kind of particular about them. If D had not been so phenomenal, I may have considered C. Because I do like to buy something from each batch, and it probably would have been my pick out of the first three. It was my pick, but then this one kind of trumps it and makes me think I don't really need another rye. I'm just
I would agree. I mean, you know, you mentioned, which I think is nice. You mentioned the fact of really trying to get something out of it.
Yeah.
But I really honestly have to say that number 4 is truly the king. It's truly the king of this tasting, and it trumps them all.
Yeah, D is terrific. And since this box just shipped this week and people are just we just received it on Friday and Sunday we're filming this. So we haven't sat on this because we found out in the past that our favorite ones are usually gone right away if we sit on the box. So we no longer sit on the box, but we will be buying this in raw film. Yeah, so I think we're in agreement that it was a good tasting overall. I thought they were very interesting. The fact that there's 3 from Texas, I think, is fascinating. And that, you know, the last 2, I mean, you really led us on a journey. You kind of stacked the deck there. I know you probably did it based on proof too. We often do that when we're doing multiple tastings in a day. We like to go in proof order. I don't know if that was your game, if that was the plan, blind barrels, but we definitely love that last one a lot and look forward to hopefully getting one of those bottles.
Yeah, not a bad tasting. I think a lot of these on the table, I think people would buy.
Yeah.
But these are good in their own ways, just personally not for me.
But right now, I think we kind of made our choice at this point in time. And again, another reason I really want to make a choice this month is because they are doing donations for the suicide prevention group that Randy does. So I think that's really important. And that's going to be a great pour for us to have. So I'm excited to get that one. I do want to also say that, you know, we signed up for the annual. We think it's great. We like it so much. We found it on watching we found it watching Stuff and Whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay. And they had this over a year ago, and they had a little link up for their affiliate, and we bought it from there. And now we are affiliates too. I mean, we've never sold any off our channel. Maybe I'll buy one today, but if I will put the link in the description, and we would make a small commission if you signed up to try it or to get the subscription. That would be great. But we share it because we were talking to our waitress at breakfast yesterday about it. She's looking for a gift for her boyfriend, and we were talking about how fun this is. And I chart it on my calendar when it's to be arriving because I get so excited when it's coming. So
it's fun. It's different. To me, we do blinds with our, you know, whiskey of the month and quarter and stuff like that. This is probably my most favorite blind because we have no clue, and we're really trying to go off of flavors and stuff.
Yeah, and I think this may have been our 6th box we've done, and we've been doing it for about a year and a half. And I think out of all the ones we've done, there have been 2 or 3 that we've had before.
Yes.
And that's it, you know. So, and we have been to 65 distilleries. We have a lot of stuff, and we buy stuff that we've not been to. So, especially craft. We've been to a lot of craft distilleries, and we promote craft distilleries quite a bit. So the fact that we've only had like maybe 3 that we've had before is kind of fascinating to me. Well, let's just, you know, end on that note for this, and I'm going to take the one we like the most for you close out.
Yep. Well, here we are with another issue of Blind Barrels done. And D, you won the day, and I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is, but the flavor is really good. We really enjoy it. And if you really want a good, unique blind tasting, this is what you do. It supports a good company, and they have good stuff. So cheers to all of you out there. If you like what we do, hit the subscribe button. Always remember to drink responsibly. Have a great day. Cheers.
Cheers.